Everyone. I am Belinda Ellsworth, and I am super excited to be here with you today. For those of you that don't know me, which it appears that there's quite a few, I love that, Lindsay, that you asked. I did many of the lives, but many of you didn't hear that. I've been in the industry for 25 years as a speaker, trainer, and consultant, and I spent 16 years in the field prior to that, doing shows just like yourself. And in fact, I've held some 3,000 shows, recruited thousands of people, and had a very large organization before I started becoming a professional speaker and trainer. I am a best-selling author and an award recipient from the DSA, and my award was for really helping companies and individuals like yourselves see a greater level of success. So it's a partnership award because the things that we teach, the things that we do actually make an impact on companies and on consultants like yourself. So super excited. My relationship with the Pampered Chef goes back a long way. I have spoken at their conferences, I think on 6 different occasions. I have probably done over 150 seminars with leader groups in the field. And we've all experienced some really great success from that relationship. So I'm just thrilled to be back here with you, sharing tonight. About 5 years ago, I brought Lindsay onto my team because I feel like I have clearly mastered the art of teaching direct selling and understand direct selling to a level that probably most don't because of all the different companies that we work with, but I did not know social media, and I didn't want to waste the time trying to learn it when I could bring in someone who was already, that knew it, was an expert, and then all I had to do was really mentor her in the world of direct selling so that you are actually getting somebody that can train social media as well as train it in your language so it's easy for you to understand. So I brought Lindsay onto my team. And now we have a really great partnership, and we can bring you the best of both worlds of training. So I'm ready to go with the training tonight. How's that sound, Lindsay?
Awesome. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to hop off video while Belinda does hers. And when she's finished up hers will be the first portion. Then I'm going to come back on. I'll kind of reintroduce myself to all of you, and then we'll go through. I've got a lot of slides to show you guys. So yeah, take it away, Belinda.
All right. Well, thanks, Lindsay. So, all right. So what I want to share with you this evening is one of the things that I am asked by so many people is the home show still alive and well? Do people even want to have home shows? And I can't seem to get any right now, and I don't think people really want to do them. And one of the things that we really see in the direct sales world today is that, first of all, to answer that question, the answer is hands down yes. And I'm going to give you some solid information about what people want and why they still want to attend a live show. It's really important to understand that you want to meet your customer where they want to be met. And there are still people that like to socialize and shop and like to be there. They like hands-on. They like to touch it. They like tasting the food that you might prepare. They like trying to work with some of the kitchen tools themselves. And so they want to be serviced in that way. There's other people that don't have time for that, and they just want to be online. That's why online shows have just taken off like crazy. And Lindsay's going to speak more to that. But then there's other customers that just want a one-on-one experience with you. And they simply want you to service them. They might want you to come and say, let's just empty all of our kitchen tools out of all of my drawers, like do Marie Kondo style. And we're just going to put them all out on the counter. We're going to throw away things that aren't good anymore. And I'm going to order all new. And there have been people that have done that have spent $500 and $600, even more, in a single one-on-one setting. So you can't underestimate the power of someone that doesn't want to come to a show in any way, shape, or form. And there are individuals like that. So that is where we're at today. Here we are in 2019, and what do people expect from direct sales? Well, more than anything, they expect service from you. That is the number one thing that people want, is service. So I'm going to speak more to the home show tonight and some follow-up, and I'm going to speak to recruiting as well, where Lindsay's going to talk more about social media and online marketing tonight. That's what makes us a dynamic duo for sure. So to answer your question, is the home show still relevant? Well, I've had the awesome privilege, as I mentioned, I've been a member of the DSA as a supplier member for about 26 years now, or 25 years now. And one of the things, because I'm a long-standing member, I've had the great opportunity to be part of some really great focus groups, as well as some surveys that we've done here with our own database. And so we really asked people, do you like attending shows? Would you attend a show? Why would you not? What do you like about them? What don't you like about them? And so I'm going to be sharing some of that information with you. So one of the things that I would say to you, no matter what, no matter how you're choosing to do your business, whether those are one-on-one appointments, whether those are online shows, or whether they are home shows, the biggest and most important thing that you can do for yourself is really make a decision on how much do you want to work. So how many live shows are you willing to do a month? How many online shows do you want to do a month? How can you supplement those if you're not getting them with one-on-one appointments with people that aren't interested in doing either type of show? Would you be interested in a kitchen makeover? So we have to decide. That's the biggest part. I think so often what we see in direct sales today is people are real reactive instead of proactive. They don't really sit down and say, well, I want to do this 4 times a month, or I want to do it this time a month. They say, this is what I hear more than anything. I'll wait and see what happens. And if you are just reactive to people saying, yes, I want to do that, or I'm interested in that, it is going to be hard pressed for you to keep the schedule or the calendar or to make the money that you want or to feel as successful as you personally want to feel. So it's really important for you to make a decision. I always talk about my 5 Ds. And the very first one is to make a decision about what you really want. What do you want to achieve with your Pampered Chef business? Where do you want it to go? How much are you willing and able to work? What is the income that you really want to make? How much will you have to work in order to make that income? What will you use that income for? Because that becomes the fire in your belly that keeps you going all the time. I'm really big on calendars, and we'll talk about that at the very end. But you need to highlight in your calendar the days that you want to work. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, I have to wait and see. I don't really know. But you do know. And when you will start to highlight those dates in your calendar, you're going to be amazed that suddenly you are going to start filling your calendar. Because as you're in conversations, as you're talking to people, you're thinking about those dates in the back of your head, and you are simply going to start leading people to those dates. Versus if you don't, it's just kind of like, well, whenever you want to do it or what would work for you. So I want you to get very specific with that. So let's talk about the 3 reasons why people book shows and the 3 reasons why they don't. So the 3 reasons why people book shows. Number 1, hands down, is fun. Now, I've been saying that for a number of years because people want to do something fun. But in today's home show, it's more important than ever. The key things when we talk to people is they want to socialize and shop. You're simply the entertainment. And it's a reason for them to gather together. That is how people really and truly view going to a home show or a home party. So they're saying, I just want to get together with my friends. It's a good reason. We're all so busy. It is a good reason for me to connect with them. And it allows us to do some shopping, which I absolutely love. So socializing and shopping. And they want you to be fun. They want it to be entertaining. And when things are entertaining for people is when they also get to participate. That was one of the things that we heard in the focus groups is, I hate going to a show or a party where we absolutely get to say nothing. I want to engage. I want to participate. They might want to try something themselves if you're showing a particular kitchen tool. Maybe you get them up and you get them laughing and trying to do it themselves, or giving different people a chance to try different things or to practice. That's the sort of thing that they want to be involved with. They want to engage in that. So socialize and shop is number one. Number two, now a lot of people, when I do this live and I say, what do you think the number one reason is? And most people will answer free product. And I'm like, no, it is fun. So I even want you to change fun to socialize and shop. Number two, so I always use, people would say free product, free and discounted product. And I used to say, correct, because it did used to be number two. But here's the interesting thing. It's not anymore. It's not number two. So number two is their willingness to help a friend. Now, most of the time when we talk about that willingness to help a friend, we are talking about the host, right? And if anybody books tonight, the host will get this, or, whatever is the case. But they are willing to do that. They're like, yeah, well, if Yuri's going to get some extra things, that's cool. But the main person that they are thinking about, and we have done a lot of surveys on this, is their own friends. They want to bring an experience and value to their own friends. That is top of mind. They're like, if I wouldn't want to do this, I think we wouldn't. And so you have to say things like, your friends are going to love this. Your friends are going to be so glad that you have this. You need to be speaking to their friends. The other thing that they want is they don't want just all the free things themselves. They want to make sure that their friends are getting to take advantage of some really awesome specials. And so part of your whole booking talk, or, booking commercial or planting seeds when you're doing that show, is saying things like, and your friends are going to get to take advantage of some really great deals, just like you are going to get to tonight. So it's really important. That is as much of a booking tool it is as a selling tool. And I see so many people that don't ever mention what that month's customer specials are until the very end. And then it's like an afterthought, but you should use that as a powerful tool throughout your presentation. The third reason then is free and discounted product. And here was what was really interesting, is most people said they found it more believable that they would be able to get discounted products, like 50% off or half price items. They found that to be more believable and desirable, and really weren't sure about what they would get free. And it didn't matter as much, which is really interesting. Now, they didn't say, oh, I won't take the free product, but it makes people uncomfortable because it's not their motivator when you stand up there and you say, and I want to tell you what the host is getting tonight. She's going to get this, and she's going to get this, and she's going to get this. In fact, people said in our focus group that I don't want to have a party at the expense of my friends. So meaning I'm not doing it, making them come all for the benefit of me. So if that's what you're leading with at your show, you are not going to get the bookings like you would like. You need to be leading with, haven't you had such a fun time tonight? Well, your friends are going to be thanking you when you have your own show, so that we can, and they can come and have a really great time too. Them getting free and discounted products is sort of the icing on the cake afterwards. But if you make too much of a big deal about it, it makes them uncomfortable, and they're like, no, that's not why I'm doing it. So this is so important for you to fully grasp and understand, because if you will change just a little bit of your language here, people are going to be thrilled to be able to come to that home show. Now, let's talk about the reasons why they don't book, and then we're going to talk about some of the things they said that is very important to them at that show. So reasons why people don't book. The obvious one is, number one, is that you did not ask. And I still go view a lot of shows before I'm going to speak at a national conference, and I'm amazed. I'm actually amazed and blown away at how many people sort of just their whole booking talk afterwards is, so if you want to have a show, let me know. If you want to have a party, I'll be happy to do that for you. And people are just kind of like it's an afterthought. So you have to ask. And so how do you ask? There's a couple of ways. So there's a subtle ask, which is during the presentation, and then there is a definite ask, which is usually at checkout. Now, that subtle ask is things like, so are you guys having a good time tonight? Gosh, who do you think of your friends would be really excited to see this? You have to start planting seeds like that and asking questions. Now, when you host your show, is there a theme? Like maybe you've showed different products. Maybe you've showed the rock crock, or maybe you've shown the grinder, the quick prep food grinder. Maybe you've shown that. Maybe you've shown the quick cooker. So maybe you've shown some of these things, and maybe you've shown some accessories around that. But it is really important when you're talking about that. Think about doing something different. At your show, we can feature our walk and all of the great accessories with that, if you'd like to do that. So by giving them different ideas, they can see how it might look a little bit differently. What's really awesome about that, and I know Lindsay shares this with me more than anybody, is the younger generation. And so she will tell you that her friends, they have a party of some kind about every month, just as a reason to get together. And she said, if they tell you everything in one night, there's no way that we're booking one of those again. But if they were able to offer something different and show completely different products on another night, or feature a collection, then we would be up for doing it with that company again. So that's something that's really important for you to keep in mind as well. So number one is you did not ask. So you want to ask fun questions, get them thinking about it during the show. And then at the end, when you're at checkout, you need to ask, so Mary, did you have a fun time tonight? And you want to so Mary, do you want to book a show? So Mary, would you like to have a party? So here's what happens. During checkout, there is what I like to say, two sides of the brain. Left side of the brain, right side of the brain. And the left side of the brain is responsible for analytical thinking, like adding, computing, making decisions. The right side of the brain is the creative side of the brain. So on the left side, that's when people are like, writing their order out, or they're thinking about that. And they're adding in their head, they're saying, okay, well, if I get that, that's $139. And then if I get a couple of the extra glass bowls and I get that, okay, how much have I spent? So their brain is thinking really hard. And then all of a sudden, right in the middle of them in this heavy duty thinking stage, you say, so Mary, would you like to book a show? And she looks up at you like you kind of have a third eye in the center of your forehead and says, no, I'm good. No, that's okay. And no, I'm all set. But what is she all set with? What is she okay with? Her order. And so it's really important that first and foremost, how do we get people from the left side of thinking so hard over to the right side of fun and creativity and a happy place? That's what I like to call it. And that is by complimenting them on their selections. When people have dropped a lot of money, they want to know that they made the right choice, that was good value, that this is going to be, that it wasn't a waste of money for them. So you want to say things like, oh my gosh, you are absolutely going to love this. It is going to come in so handy. You are going to love it. You're probably going to find yourself using it all of the time. And they're like, really? Oh my gosh, I probably use mine 3-4 times out of the week. I mean, it is just so easy to use. You're going to be so happy. So we want to compliment them on their selections, which kind of gets them to that happy place. And then you're going to say, so Mary, did you have fun tonight? I did. Well, would you consider having your own party so we can have this much fun with your friends? And they might do that pause. And they might say, I'd like to, but I'm just really so busy. Or I just can't do it right now. And that's when you get that pause of that, that means they're kind of thinking about it. And so you very quickly, I call them your 3 go-to questions in your pocket. You need to say things like, well, Mary, now you had a fun time tonight, right? I did. Great. And is there some additional items you'd still like to get out of the catalog? Oh my gosh, friends. Are you kidding? There was so many things I wanted to get. Awesome. And do you think your friends would enjoy this experience? Well, I'm sure they would. Then Mary, it sounds like it's a matter of finding the right time out of your incredibly busy schedule. Would you agree? Oh, yeah. So Mary, if you were to do one, let's just say if you were to do one, what would work better for you? Would it be a weekday or would it be a weekend? Well, probably a weekend would work better. Okay, well, we could do a fun Friday night party, or show, cooking show. So, you have friends that are lively, they just like to have a good time. Our fun Friday night cooking shows are great. Now, we could do a Saturday morning brunch show. These are really fun because you're in and out of the door. It takes a shorter period of time, and, they've still got the rest of their whole Saturday. Or we could do Sunday afternoon, say after church. This seems to be a fun time to do one as well. Which one of those is more appealing to you? Oh, my friends are pretty rowdy, so I'd say the fun Friday night. Okay, great. Now, do you want to do 6:30, 7:30? Which one works better? Probably 7, okay. And I've got the 14th or the 28th. Which one of those is better? Probably the 28th. Okay, perfect. Here's what I've got for you, Mary. The 28th at 7 o'clock. I'm going to come and entertain your friends and do all of the work, and all you have to do is sit back, relax, and have a fun, fabulous time with your friends. What do you say? Okay, let's do it. Okay, that's how you book shows, and that actually leads us to what the number 2 reason is. And number 2 is actually the biggest reason, and that is people simply can't make a decision. People simply can't make a decision. And so we've got to give them choices by warming them up, by getting them to say yes, 4 times. Did you have fun tonight? Are there items that you would still like to get? Do you think your friends would enjoy this? So it sounds like it's a matter of finding the right time out of your incredibly busy schedule. Would you agree? Yes. That's 4 yeses. And you are likely to get that booking, especially when you lead them down. People come to your shows and they are busy. Let's just face it. They probably had 2 kids hanging off their leg and telling them that they still have homework assignments to do or laundry that needs to be done. And they go to that show and they're thinking all about what they have to get home and do, or what the next day at work is going to look like. And quite honestly, their brain is just so full and they just can't even think of a date when they could do it. So they just say no. But if you can help them by giving them choices, by helping them to make that decision, you are going to get people on your calendar. Now, the third reason is fear that no one will come. And that's why, and we know this from the surveys, the fear really is in inviting them. Because if you've put such a large emphasis on free products, they feel sort of self-conscious, calling their friends up and saying, oh, you need to come because I'm trying to get this cookware set. I mean, they don't want to say that. And so it's really important that you are able to convey to them, when you're talking and when you're doing your shows is, your friends are going to love it. In fact, they're going to be thanking you because we help them save time and money in the kitchen. So when you're saying things like that, that's the 2 things that people want to have more than anything is to save time and to save money. And so if you can show them by making simple, easy meals that are usually under $2 per meal per family, that's wow. And when you can show them how to save time with so many of the awesome tools that you have, they're going to be thrilled. And so you want to always be planting that seed as well. So these are the 3 reasons why people book and the 3 reasons why they don't. Couple of other interesting things that have come out of what people want from a show. And that is they want to participate, so they want to talk or they want to be interactive in it. They want it to be short. So they don't want you talking for a very long time. 20 minutes is about max. Now for Pampered Chef cooking shows, I know those take a little bit longer, but you really want to try to keep yourself to 30 minutes that you're actually showing things. Leave room. You don't have to show everything. You could come back and do a completely different show on another time, highlighting and featuring some of the other big, you guys have some big sort of rocks, if you will, you know, like some big items that you can then make that your anchor and then sell products around that. So that's really an awesome way to go. You've probably got at least 5 of those in your catalog. And so you could create whole different shows with using your anchor piece. And what I mean by that is like your quick prep or the nonstick cooker or and the grill, the double grill. Like these are things, the quick cooker, and then you've got all the accessories that go with that. So that is absolutely what you will be able to do. All right, so we are, okay, what are some other things that they said? So they want it to be short and they want you to get to the point, but they want you to help them with their shopping. So people like to be served. They like service. So when you can help people make good decisions or give them ideas on what to get, they want that shopping, you know, experience to be pretty easy as well. Some other things, like we asked, do you mind when people do a recruiting talk? And they were like, oh, no, I expect they're going to do it. In fact, if they don't do it, I often think, this came right out of 300 people off the street. If they don't do it, I often think, wow, they must not think we're any good. So I want to remind you that you always invite, and we're going to talk about that with the recruiting section, but you always want to invite people. You don't want to leave people out. You also don't want to tell your whole life story, though. They don't like that. So these are just some of the things that we are hearing. So if you can come and you let everybody socialize first, that's what they want. Visit, you know, they might even have like some, you know, light snacks and get something to drink. They want to visit together. Then you start your show. You make sure that it's fun, that it's interactive, that you're, you know, showing some simple, easy things, showing added value by showing them how to save time and money in the kitchen, showing them some cool tricks that you have up your sleeve with the many wonderful products that you have, and then doing a very quick booking talk, a very quick, you know, recruiting talk, and then doing the checkout. The sooner that you can get to that and just be interacting. Now, a lot of people think they still have to talk about everything, but you know what? If you do a quick show and then you end and feature some highlighted, you know, products, then you've got other products on your table though. People will then mingle. They'll be able to still socialize with each other. They'll come up to the table. You will be at the table and they'll say, oh, what is this item? Or can you tell me a little bit more about this? Oh, absolutely. And while you're talking, 3, 4 other people are listening. So we call this sort of the extended show or the extended party, so that you don't have to feel like when you're doing this quote unquote presentation that you have to cover everything. All right, so now we're actually going to talk about the show itself, because I want to cover that really quickly, but then I also want to spend a little bit more time on recruiting. It's such an important part of your business. And then I am going to end this with follow-up. So, all right, the show. Now, I know many of you that have seen me, I talk about the 6 key elements of a successful show. And you know what? I have found that those haven't changed at all, really. Now, the timing that we do it and some of the things that we say in that has changed, but those 6 key elements are still really some of the most important. And Lindsay actually takes that and translates those 6 key elements and actually, you know, puts those into the online show. They're just done a little bit differently. They're tweaked, but you still want to do them. So let's talk about those 6 key elements. And number 1, super simple, is the meet and greet. You do not want to be standing by your table. Actually, that was a really funny thing. I've taught this for 25 years. But people, these focus groups were done fairly recently. And people were saying, I hate when they're just standing by their table guarding it. And I've always taught that. Don't stand there by your table. Leave. And they want to be invited to look at the table first. So as someone is coming into your home, you can say, hi, my name is Belinda, and you are? Well, I'm Sandy. Sandy, thank you so much for coming this evening. Is it your first time at a Pampered Chef party, or has it been a while? I think that's really important with an established company, that you ask them if they've never been, but then you also ask if it's been a while. I'm sure you've got a whole generation of people that have never been to one, and then you've got a whole generation of people, I talk to them all the time, that say, I haven't been invited in probably 15 years to a Pampered Chef show. And that, true story. So as much as you think that people don't want to go, they're like, I would love to go to one. I haven't been invited to one. So that's your two generations that you've got right now. So have you ever been to a Pampered Chef? Is this your first time at a Pampered Chef party, or has it been a while since you've been to one? Oh gosh, it's been 15 years. Oh my gosh, well thank you so much for coming tonight. Oh, we have so many new items and so many things that are just gonna blow your mind in the kitchen. I'm not kidding you. I can't wait to share them with you. So if it's somebody brand spanking new, you're gonna say, well, I can't wait to show you. We're gonna talk about how to save time and money in the kitchen tonight and how to have fun in the kitchen. That's what it's all about, having fun in the kitchen. So we're gonna get started momentarily, but feel free to kind of go on over to my table and take a quick peek. They love that. They want that permission to be able to kind of go over and check it out and see, what's coming up, what they're expecting. So that is going to be important in that meet and greet. If somebody says, oh my gosh, no, I have lots of Pampered Chef, I love it, I love coming to the shows, then you're going to say, great, have you ever considered doing what I do? Oh gosh, no, I haven't. Well, you know what, Sandy, just watch me do this evening. And imagine it's you doing it, and just tell me what you think at the end of the night, okay? So she watches that entire show then thinking, you know what, I could do that. It's not that hard. And in fact, many people by the end of your show will say, you know what, I could do a better job than her, I think. And that's just them starting to kind of feel empowered in it. So that's another little seed to plant with people that have been to tons or say that they have lots of Pampered Chef. They absolutely love it. All right, number 2. Now, I've always called this your opening talk, but in recent time, we've changed the name of this to the transition. So imagine, and the reason we're calling it the transition is because you've got people running around the house. They're drinking, they're, visiting with their friends, laughing. This goes on for, say, 20 minutes or so, whatever. And now you want to gather people together to get started. And so you don't want to just say, okay, everybody sit down like it's school or something. Okay, we're going to get started. I'm going to tell you about the Pampered Chef. It's like you need a transition. You need to let people know what to expect. And the other reason that the transition is so important is because people, when they are, getting ready to listen, or when you get going, doing this live is so much easier for me. Like when I am standing up and I like to pace and walk, and people that know me, so me sitting in this chair, it makes me go like, oh, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, what I was going to say, as that party gets going and you are having fun, right? And people are laughing and you're pulling people up out of their seat, and here, you try that, Julie. And when you're doing all the things that you should be doing, people are having fun, they're talking, they're not paying as much attention as you'd like to think. But you don't want it to be like school. That's what people don't like. You want a fun atmosphere. So you want to make sure that you get out your main points of what you want to say at that very beginning in that transition. So it would sound something like, hi everyone, my name is Belinda, and I'm going to get started here in just a minute. I'm so excited that you're all here. We are going to have so much fun tonight. How many of you have never been to a Pampered Chef party, or maybe it's been a long time? Well, ladies, we're going to show you how to save time and money in the kitchen. We're going to show you how to make simple, easy meals in under 30 minutes and under $2 a serving. You are going to fall in love with so many of our wonderful products. We take you from prep to cooking it to serving it, all in one night. We're going to show you all of these great items. We have all the products that really support that. I'm confident that you're going to fall in love with so many of our wonderful items type that you honestly aren't going to be able to get everything you want. I mean, that so often is the case. And I'm going to assist you with your shopping experience to help you get exactly the items you want to get started with. But if you'd really like to get some of those additional items, either with a nice thank you shopping spree from us or at a half price discount, then you really should think about hosting your own show, just like Susan is doing here tonight. We do treat our hosts very special, but more importantly, we treat their friends very special too. We've always got great customer specials for them, and we always make sure that they have a fabulous time. As you watch me do this show tonight, you're going to see that my job is really fun, but it's also pretty easy. And maybe many of you here tonight that you're looking for a way to make some extra income, you're looking for something that's fun and flexible, you're just looking for a way to get out of the house and have a good time meeting some great people. If any one of you, if that sounds appealing and you just like to know a little bit more about the Pampered Chef, take a closer look, please let me know and I will be more than happy to send you home with some information tonight. With that, I want to again thank Susan for having me and you for coming. And now I can't wait to share the wonderful world of Pampered Chef with you. That's a transition. I've gotten out my 3 services. I'm going to help you shop, you can book, or you could join. And I've talked about each one of those briefly. I've told everybody what to expect for the evening. And now I'm going to transition into number 3, which is the presentation itself. Now, I'm not going to obviously do a whole presentation for you tonight as we have very limited time and I am seeing my clock tick away. But I'm going to tell you some really important features. And these are the same things that work well online as they do at that live show as well. Now, I really do think that people like more of, they like it when you have a whole sort of bundle or a set or an idea, like what am I going to get tonight, instead of showing a lot of one-odds. Now remember, you're only going to be talking for 20 to 30 minutes, so what do I really need to do? I need to have that anchor item and I need to talk about the accessories with it. Maybe I'm going to talk about 3 of the anchor items tonight and some of the accessories and give people some ideas. I'm getting this set, I might want to get this set, or I might want to get this set. You've got to plan that idea because when you then talk, it only appears like you talked about 3 key things. Where really, if you talked about the quick cooker, you talked about the glass bowls, you talked about something else, you know, you are talking about other things with that. When you're talking about the quick prep food grinder, you're talking about some of the other pieces that go with that. So, but that's a nice anchor and it's at a nice price point. So just think about that. How much can I show in groupings? It makes it seem like you only talked about 3 items when you really talked about 15. But if you stand up there and go, and our next item is, and our next item is, and our next item is, people become bored and they're not going to enjoy it as much. And they're certainly not going to think about booking as much. So the first is to show in groupings. The second one is to keep it lively, you know, engage with your customers, let them talk, let them come up and let them participate, and use testimonials. So testimonials are powerful. I have one client who has this and she absolutely loves it. She said she rarely cooks with anything else. She loves this item so much. So don't say, I love it, this is my favorite, this is my favorite. Because people start to not believe you. You've got to talk about different customers that you have and different experiences that they've shared with you or why they love it so much. That's going to make it come to life so much more if you're sharing those testimonials. Use good adjectives. Don't get hung up saying, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is so awesome. This is so awesome. You have to change it up. You know, this item's incredible. This is amazing. I absolutely love this. This is a must-have for your kitchen. No kitchen is complete without our blah, blah, blah. These are the phrases that you want to change up and use. Now, this is the biggest one for selling. Absolutely hands down. And that is, there is 2 styles of selling. There's descriptive selling and there's benefit selling. And you always want to come from a benefit selling. And so often, all the parties I go to or shows that I go to or when I ask people to role play with me, they're always coming at it from a descriptive piece. And that isn't what makes people want to buy it. Like, this is our quick prep. And you can do this with it, and you can slice with this, and you can grade with this, and you can do this with it. And that's the things that it does. But how is that going to benefit me? You need to talk about, if you're making a such and such, and you know how hard it is to chop up all of that, you put it in here and bam, 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 and there you have it. You can do prep for this so quickly that you can make your meals in under 30 minutes, because the prep work, honestly, is the toughest part. So if you're showing them the benefit, not describing that product, they're going to desire it more. I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I've got to have that. It totally would be awesome for me. And so think about that with every item. What's the benefit? So as you're showing those groupings, how's that going to benefit them? What's it going to do for them? Instead of saying, this is this big, it comes with this lid, you get this on it too. Like, try to catch yourself not standing up there and describing, this is a glass bowl. Really? So instead, you want to say, here's why glass is so awesome. And then you talk about it and how you can do this with it, you can store it, you can do whatever, freeze with it. Like, you just really want to give them how they're going to use it and how it's going to be beneficial to them. That's going to sell more for you. You're going to build more desire. And then you can say things like, in some of your big ticket items, and I find so many of my hosts choose this as their half price items. Now, some companies, they limit you. They don't let you get the really big ticket items at half price, but not here at Pampered Chef. We're just so thrilled to have you sharing this wonderful experience with your friends that we just want to treat you really special. So when you're saying things like that, they're like, okay. And yeah, not hardly anybody else does that. They don't do groupings. They don't do a cookware set. They don't do a knife set. Other companies will say, host, the bundles aren't included, or host credits, you can't get these items. So that happens all of the time. And that is one of the things that I love the most about Pampered Chef. And I know that people that do have shows love that as well. So that's number 3. Number 4 is your booking talk. And we talked about this. And so there's 2 kinds of ways to do a booking talk. There is the 0, and then there's the 10. And the 0 is, so ladies, if you'd like to have a show, please let me know. That's kind of the 0, right? And you don't want to do that. But a 10 is, ladies, I just want to take a moment and tell you what Sarah is doing tonight. Sarah's our host, and as a host, you can walk away with a tremendous amount of free and discounted products. First she's going to get credit for the show tonight, and an average show with us is about $600, which is going to give her, X amount in free product. But that's not all, because she's also entitled to some half-price items. But when people book tonight, she's going to get blah, 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 blah. That's a 10. It's overwhelming, it's too much, and it puts people in that uncomfortable seat saying, oh, gosh, I don't want to do that at my party, so I'm just not going to do it. So it's really important to find that happy ground in the middle. And you say things like, ladies, I'm sure, like I said when we started, that you have fallen in love with many of our wonderful items and possibly can't get it all tonight. I mean, seriously, that's a tall order, isn't it? For sure. So I really want you to think about hosting your own show, because it's fun, it's easy. I do the majority of the work for you. Your friends are going to love it. They're going to love you even more. They're going to find things that they absolutely want. And then you're going to get treated to a really nice shopping spree, as well as some half-price items. And as I mentioned, our half-price items could be any one of the bigger items that I talked about tonight, or one of our collections. So why in the world wouldn't you want to have one? Honestly, I'm going to do all the work. You get to sit back, relax, and have a fun, fabulous time with your friends. So I'd just like to encourage every one of you, just say yes. I'll find a date that's good for your busy schedule. I promise. That's a booking talk. Then your recruiting talk. So here's where I'm going to skip it for a minute, okay? This will make life really easy because I'm looking at my time here. So we're going to skip number 5 just for a second. We're going to go to number 6. 6 is checkout. So as soon as you are done with that party, let's say you've talked for 30 minutes, maybe something's, cooking or you're just about ready to serve it or whatever. So then you are going to say, I want to welcome everybody to come on up to the table. You know what? Mess it up, mess up my display, pick up things, try things, have fun with it. I'm going to be here answering any questions that you have. Get people off their seats. And again, some people will just start looking at the catalog, while others will just get up off their seats and they're like, oh, well, what is this? What is this? And then that allows you to do sort of that extended show. As people are ready to do their order, you can kind of mingle around the room. Ask things like, are you finding everything okay? Is there anything that I can assist you with? What was your favorite item tonight? What were you thinking about getting? Can I help you with some of the accessory items to go with that? Absolutely. The best thing that you can honestly do for yourself is to put together kind of some bundles. That if you get this item and this equals this. I like to use either little tent cards, or another way to do it is if you have 4 of them, you can literally take a piece of paper and have your 4 different packages on there. You can even pass those around. These are our 4. I just put these together. You can buy anything from the catalog you want, but this just makes shopping easier. If you liked this collection that I showed, if you liked this collection that I showed tonight, here it is for you. And they go, oh my gosh, that whole thing is, $259, or that whole thing is $169. So you know what? I do like that. So that is something. They could get the Rock Croc $139, then they could get a couple of the other pieces that kind of go with that. And then you're at $169. And people go, oh, but I can afford that. And that is a perfect thing for me to have. And look at all the stuff you can do with it. And I'm going to get it. So that is having those groupings really easily for people to see is really great also. Now, when you sit down and do the checkout, you want to do a full service checkout. So, again, you upsell, like, oh, did you want to get any of this to go with that? Did you want to add these? Think of little items that would be a nice add-on to almost any order that is a must-have for their kitchen. And always ask if there's any gift-giving items that you can help them out with. If anybody says, yeah, actually it's my sister's birthday, always have a couple of good choices in about a $25 to $30 price range, because if you just say, look at the catalog and I'll come back, they won't get anything. But if you say, oh my gosh, our round stone is absolutely one of the best, it's versatile, even if she has 1, she's gonna love 2, whatever it is. So make sure that you have a couple of choices that you think make great gifts, because people are going to be more inclined than to say, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, let's do that. So if you're going to throw out can I help you out with any gifts tonight? You better be prepared to give them a couple of choices. Don't just send them back to the catalog, because 9 times out of 10, they won't choose anything. So then I'm going to say, okay, here's your total. And then I'm just going to say, gosh, you made some really great selections here tonight, Sandy, just like I did earlier. And then I'm going to ask her if she would consider. When you ask people if they will consider, they usually don't say no. No, I won't even consider it. No, some do, but it's more likely that you're going to get a, oh, gosh, I don't know. You're going to get that more, or yeah, I would consider it, but I'm just like crazy busy right now. So that can lead you into that next conversation that we talked about. Then the last question is, would you care to take home some information to take a closer look at the Pampered Chef and their opportunity? No, I don't think so. Okay, perfect. Give them their receipt, blah, blah, blah. Now, I have a wonderful, I call it my VIP group, my very important customers, and that's on Facebook, and I would love to add you to that or invite you to that. Of course, I would never do it without your permission, but would you like to be a part of that? I keep monthly specials in there. I feature different products during the month, and I'd love for you to be a part of that. Oh yeah, that sounds great. I would like to be a part of that. Fantastic. So that is a full service checkout. When you ask people if they would like some information, not if they'd like to join, but if they would just like information or they'd like to take a closer look at what the Pampered Chef is all about, 50% of people, you're going to get a 50-50 response. Because even I've taught this for 25 years because I've seen it myself over the years. But in the survey group, it came out straight right down the line. 50% were like, wow, it's piqued my curiosity. I'd like information. Now, most of the time, 50% of people at your show don't tell you that, but 50% of people we know are interested. So if you would just ask, would you like to take a closer look? Probably 50% are going to say, sure, if it's just taking a look. You want to always allow people to be in the safe zone when it comes to recruiting. So they're like, sure. And if they say no, no big deal. Honest to goodness, you guys get too worried about rejection. If they say no, say, okay, great. Then ask them regardless if they say yes or no if they want to be in your VIP group. So that's a full service checkup. Number 5 is recruiting. All right, guys. So I don't want to just do a recruiting talk. So I really teach a 5-point interest system. And this is really good for online shows as well. So 5 points of interest. When you just do your whole life story or one big long recruiting talk, for one thing, people don't pay attention as much and it doesn't like spark their interest and then maybe spark someone else's interest and then maybe spark the first person's interest again. People need to hear something about 5 or 6 times before it really starts to like sink in or connect or that they really align with. So I'm going to do my 5 points of interest. So number 1 is toward the beginning of the show. I did it in the opening. I've already done that for you. Ladies, watch me do the show this evening. You will see that my job is a lot of fun and it's pretty easy. Maybe you're looking for a way to make some extra income, have a fun, flexible job, or maybe just a way to get out of the house and get your own products at a great discount. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. And I'll be happy to send you home with some information. That's point of interest 1. Point of interest number 2, 3, and 4 is your I story. You always want to lead with a you story. Like, what could this do for you? You know, fun, flexible, extra money. Maybe you can even name. Maybe you're looking for, for kids' activities or just some extra fun money for a vacation. You might even want to throw out a couple of things like that. But number 1 is all about them. Then number 2, 3, 4 is your I story, but you sprinkle it out. You don't want to just throw up on people with your whole life story. So sprinkle it. So number 2, which is the first of the 3, right? This is what attracted you to Pampered Chef. Like, what made you decide that you wanted to do this? That's your first I story. I was a teacher, actually I still am, and I just really wanted to do something fun, like spend time with other adults and enjoy, and I love cooking, and this was just a fun way for me to just really do what I'm passionate about. So maybe that's it, or maybe it's something else. I got in this because I was looking to make a little bit of extra income or whatever, for my son wanted to go to a certain particular camp or whatever the case is, right? So number 1 or 2 then of the part A of the I story is what interested you or attracted you to Pampered Chef. Part B, okay, or number 3 is what have you been able to do with some of the extra income? This is about money. I love having this extra income, and recently we were able to do blah, blah, blah. Or I was able to take my family and do this. Or we completely did our patio with all new patio furniture, and I was able to do that with my earnings. So it was really special. So just share something, because somebody sitting in that room is saying, gosh, I wish I had the extra money to do whatever. And when you throw out some of those examples on what you've been able to do with your income, people are like, wow, I could do that too. And then your third part, or part C, or number 4 of your I story, everybody following me. 1 is the beginning. It's about them. Number 2, 3, and 4 is your I story. It's about you. And so the number 4, which is the third part of your I story, is what has this done for you outside of money? Like, it's built your confidence. It's allowed you to meet so many great friends. You've learned so much about cooking when you never liked to cook before. Whatever it is, what has this done for you on a personal level besides just earning you the income? So that's number 4. And then number 5 is the anchor. Number 5 is the actual recruiting talk. So 5 is the anchor. Now, this usually comes toward the end of that show. So you've done, the opening, you've done the cooking show, you've done your booking commercial, and now it is right toward the end before you're going to open it up for everybody to get up and come up to your table and have a really good time and start that checkout process. So this is your recruiting talk. So ladies, you watched me do the show this evening. You've seen my job is fun, and you've seen that it's pretty easy. But it's really rewarding too. I absolutely love what I do, and then maybe say something else about why you love it, and then say, many of you are probably sitting here saying, the extra a chance to give this a try. Our investment is very small. You will usually have your investment paid off in your first to second party for sure. Most people have it in the first party that they do. And you can choose to do your business however you like. You can do them just like I've done this evening, so it's online. So I can choose to do your business however you would like. You how to do it. You don't have to be a great chef or love cooking. A lot of people that get in this, learn just these simple, easy ways. And it's really just sharing with people just ways to save time and money in the kitchen. So if anyone would just like some information, to take home with them, to take a closer look at what we're all about, I'm happy to send you home with that. You've got them right there in the palm of your hand. And say, so if you want to join, we'll get you signed up tonight. Your kid is only this much. And then you get this, and you get this, and you get this. It's like, lay it right out there and then just gradually say. So again, if you would just like some information. What we call this in recruiting is allowing people to live in the safe zone. Allowing them to live in the safe zone. People want to feel safe that I can be interested without committing that I want to join. You have to allow them to do that. And the more that you will allow them to do that, the more people that you will get speaking up saying, sure, I'll take some information, sure. And if one person takes information and then you don't pounce on them, so what are you thinking? I love this so much, this company is so great, and you just kind of pounce, then the other person is going to say, oh, I'm not saying anything. But if somebody says, yeah, I think I would like some information, you're going to say, wonderful. Why don't you take that home, Julie, and give it a look, and I'll give you a call, say tomorrow or the next day, and answer any questions that you might have. How's that sound for you? Sounds great. Awesome. The person that was sitting there worried about it goes, I guess I will take one. I'll have one too. I'll take one too. So honestly, the more packets you give out or the more information you give out, the more you'll give out. Now, many of you have electronic packages today, meaning that everything is just emailed to them. So, you might say, I'm here, right then, get their phone. I'm emailing this to you right now. Have a look at it. I will give you a call tomorrow. So however that you really operate your business these days. And obviously, if you're doing an online show, you're going to be sending that electronic packet and have that easy for yourself. When you go to your shows and you're going to give them something, have your packets made up. And if you are doing it from your desktop, have it in a folder so it's all ready to go and it's super easy to access. Don't go back to the back office every single time that you want to do something like that. All right. So now what I want to talk about is follow-up. Now I'm looking at the clock and I know exactly how much time that I have left. And I would feel just terrible if I didn't mention in the Power Hour system. So the Power Hour is a system that I have trademarked here at Step Into Success. It's a trademarked product. And it is a system of which allows you to work efficiently. And the big bonuses of that, or the reason we designed that Power Hour, what it's framed around, is the 4 pillars of success. And those 4 pillars are focus, commitment, consistency, and organization. If you are focused, you will get where you want, and you've got to stay focused on one thing, right, at a time. If you are committed, meaning I'm committed to doing this 3 times a week or 2 times a week, you have to be consistent in that, meaning you do it the 2 to 3 times a week or whatever you've laid out for yourself. And organization, your lack of organization costs you more time than any other single thing. So the power hour concept is real simple. You take an hour in a day, you break it into 4 income producing activities. I like to use, I'm going to spend 15 minutes in a day making booking calls. I'm going to spend 15 minutes in a day making recruiting calls. I'm going to spend 15 minutes in a day coaching my host. And this works for whether it's an online show or if it's a live show. And I'm going to spend 15 minutes working on my customer care. So that is a very short version of the power hour. We go into it much deeper in some of our training products, which I'm going to share some of those with you later on this evening after Lindsay chats with you. And then, but that's it in a nutshell, right? So the power hour. So what I want to focus on with the last few minutes that I have is I want to focus on customer care, customer service. This is the one area of your business that so many people leave money on the table, just leave money on the table. And I am telling you right now that if you really want to really rock your business, it is going to be in funneling people into that VIP group. And Lindsay's going to talk more about how to do that. But I would just say even your customers, anybody, even when you're going online and you're meeting people, well, how would you like to be in my VIP group? You want to build that VIP group up because that's going to be part of your customer service. Now, I have taught forever, and it still works to this day, a 2 + 2 + 2 system. And that is 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. So here is what that looks like. 2 days. Now, what is the purpose of the 2-day call? They don't even have their products yet, right? It's 2 days after the party. The purpose of it is, and this is the one, like I say, calls. You can do text messages, you can do Facebook Messenger, you know, you can do any of those things. But honestly, if you are going to do any one of them as an actual phone call, the best one is that first one, the 2 days. Now, can you text message them? Absolutely. But you will get more results if you actually even text message them and say, hey, just wanted to touch base with you for about 2 minutes. Do you have a moment? Call them. Pick up that phone. So 2 days, because things stay exciting for people for about 3 days. So we want to catch them in that window. Like if you go to a great restaurant or a great movie, you usually talk about it for about 3 days and then it starts to fade. So you want to catch them in that window. The 2 days, all it is an attitude of gratitude. It's simply thank you. Hey, Suzanne, this is Belinda, and I just wanted to say what a pleasure it was meeting you at Mary Ann's. And I wanted to thank you again for your order. Pause. Oh, gosh, well, thank you. I had such a good time the other night. Oh, I'm so glad. That is awesome. So, you know, I just wanted to let you know that your order should arrive in about 7 days. And if you have any questions upon receiving it, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And I sent you that invite to the VIP group. So make sure that you accept it and get into our group because it is so much fun. Okay, I will. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. Now, that's how simple that call could go, seriously. But here's what might happen, and what does happen, is that people go home and they think about it. Maybe even they tell their husbands, oh, honey, this, oh my gosh, this quick cooker was the most perfect thing. Or, oh, I just want to get this so bad. And he's like, why didn't you get it? I don't know. And if I had a party, I could get it for like 50% off. Well, my gosh, why didn't you do that? So like she's thinking about it. And if you did that 2-day call while it was fresh on her mind, here's the stats. It is about 10%. So it's not huge, but about 10% of people will upsell their order. They're going to go, you know what, is it too late to add to my order? Could you add this? 10%, we have hard stats on this with numerous companies, that people will, if you were to make that call in 2 days, they would add something to their order, about 10%, so not huge. But here's where 20% comes in. If you call people and you say, oh, I just wanted to see what a pleasure it was meeting you and thank you again for your order. She pauses, goes, great. Well, I was talking to a few of the ladies at work and they want to see a catalog. Is there any way you could get me a couple extra catalogs? Oh my gosh, Marianne or Suzanne, I would be happy to do that. But you know what? I got to be honest with you. If they're really interested, they're just going to look at they're not going to have as much fun as we did at Suzanne's. I mean, come on. So what I'd love you to do is just consider having your own show and inviting them and invite your other friends. And let's have as much fun as we did the other night at your friend Suzanne's house. What do you say? And she says, okay, you know what? I think that's a good idea. Because remember when I told you one of the reasons was fear? Well, when they see that, like, oh, I've got a bunch of people interested or like haven't seen Pamper Chef in a while, like, okay, maybe I will host a party then. And I talk to people all the time. Like when I told people I was doing this webinar and I was working with Pamper Chef, they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't been to a Pamper Chef show and I can't even remember when. That's what I heard over and over and over. So don't underestimate that people love the product, but they haven't seen it in a really long time. All right, 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is the out of the box call. I think all of you call it that or something along that line. You want to make sure that they've used it. And you want to get on the phone and you want to say, hey, and you don't have to get on the phone for this one. This one you can text. Just want to make sure you received your products. Have you taken them out of the box? Have you gotten a chance to use them yet? And if they say no, say you need some help, I'm happy to go over a few things with you. That's what you want to do. Because then people are going to be like, oh, I haven't gotten it out yet. I'm a little bit afraid, kind of. I don't want to screw anything up. And it's, oh my gosh, no, okay. And walk them through it. I don't have as much time. I'd love to tell you the most funny story ever. Let's see, but I need to look at what time it really is. Okay, I've got about 5 minutes before we're gonna bring Lindsay on. So I'm just gonna tell you this funny story. It makes me look really foolish, but it is hysterical. So I had gone in and did a seminar for one of the leaders. And when I left, she said, oh, Belinda, this is the best cookie press ever. I'm gonna give this to you just because it was right around Christmas time that I did this seminar for her. And she said, I want to give this to you. Enjoy this baking at Christmas. Well, I don't cook and I don't bake. So I was like, oh, okay. But I do own a lot of different Pamper Chef things. And I have learned to make certain meals, in certain things. But I wouldn't call myself like an accomplished cook or chef or anything. So I said, okay, well, I really don't bake at all. In fact, I never really made cookies at all, and I had never used a cookie press in my life. So I get home and I'm like, I can do this. This is the best cookie press on the market. I can do this. So I put my dough in there and I tried getting it out and it won't come out. And so I'm trying on my kitchen counter to like get leverage, and I'm really short, so none of you can see me right now, but I'm only like 5'1". And so I'm thinking in my head, I can't use this cookie press because I'm not tall enough. So I get a chair and I get like up above the counter so that I can like really work this. And then my husband comes in and sees me and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I can't get this to work. I started crying and he's like, oh, your dough is too dry and let's fix this. And then somebody's helping me out. But you know what? I always say, like, we gave me the gift and it was so nice and I was so happy, but she never called me and said, how'd that work out? Because I would have said, I'm not very good at it. Like, what's some better ways to use it? And I didn't want to call her and say, I'm an absolute crazy person. And so you gotta understand that there are people like that out there that don't know exactly what they're doing, or it didn't go as well as you did at that show. And so it's really important that you follow up with them and make them feel confident and comfortable, using it like you did. All right. So number 3 is 2 months. So now instead of calling 2 months, I used to say touch base with them and see if there's anything else they're needing. Because it takes about 2 months and people are thinking about, oh, I really like what I got. And I want to get something else. But we really, really teach now, utilize that VIP group. So if you don't have a VIP group at all, I can't recommend enough to get one, but if you just don't want to, then pick up that phone in 2 months and say, you know, how are you enjoying your products? I was wondering if there's anything else I can help you out with right now. You know what really complements what you bought really nicely is our blah, blah, blah. Give them some ideas on what would go well with what they've already got. Otherwise, your VIP group. Now, Lindsay's going to teach to it a little bit different than me, but one of the things that I hear from people that aren't really savvy online or just don't know how to get people to go to it or what am I supposed to do in it? The number one question I get is, well, what do I post? What am I supposed to post? How often do I post? I don't ever know what to post. And of course, she's going to talk about you don't want it to look like a big fat sales page, right? But I'm going to let her cover that. So what I did is just created a really simple system for most people that aren't super creative or aren't super savvy. So I'm hoping that this helps you, and then she can give you all kinds of great ideas for kind of those that are. All right? So I really say, go live. Live is where it's at. That's what people see. You will get more engagement for sure, and that's going to help you so much. So if you went live, and I know a lot of you are going, I don't want to go live, but you know what? The more you do it, the better you get. That's the way life goes. So I promise you that I can promise you because I know the first few lives that I did, I was so nervous, and I'm a professional speaker for crying out loud. And so I looked back on them, and I'm a bobblehead, you know, like, hi everybody, how are you today? And I was like, why am I doing that? So, but I got over it, like I did. I quit doing it, and so you will too, and you just got to do it. But week one, talk about your specials. So every month, this makes your life so easy. The company gives you monthly specials. So week one, talk about, hey guys, it's first of the month. I want to let you know about what's on special this month and what great items that we have. So you can do your live, and it's about that. Then week two, do a featured product. So do like a little video showing this product and how it works. So which product should you choose? Well, if you were smart, you would choose one of the special items. And then you can actually talk about some of the others or talk about other complementary items to one of those sale items to where they might purchase that bundle. Then week three. Week three is where you actually do your sort of Facebook party, if you will, in your VIP group. Because after you've kind of primed them with what some of the specials are, then you've actually shown some of those special items and how they work and, you know, some other items that go with them. Week three is your actual party. And what should the party be? You don't want to do the same party every month, right? The party should be focused around those specials. So just do a quick little demo and then talk about ordering, order now. Like, this is the sort of call to action. The reason we do it in the third week is because we're not pressing to get all of our sales in. And if you can teach your team to do that, you're not pressing to get all of their sales in the last 3 days of the month. So, and there are people that in just that third week are doing like, you know, $1,000 parties, $2,000 parties, $5,000 parties, depending on how big that their group is. And then week four, you can either talk about, you know, some of the products again, or you can talk about one of the additional items and just do a focus on product, you know, not about selling. Or if you already know what next month's booking and recruiting join specials are, you can just really at the last week of the month talk about, you know, I've shown you some really great items this month. Here's what's in it for hosts next month. If you're thinking about doing a Facebook party or you want to do an in-home party with me, that's fine too. And if you've really been watching me do this now for several months here in this VIP group, you know, right now is a great time to join, and here's why. So the last week is about your host and join specials for the upcoming month. So that's how I think you can work your VIP groups. Lindsay's going to tell you some more really, really great tips. But that's what I have to share with you tonight. And I'm going to invite her to now come on. I'm going to mute, and I'm going to go off video as well so that you can totally focus on this beautiful, smart, talented young woman who makes me happy every single day. I know she's going to absolutely rock your world. So after Lindsay is done, I will come back on and I'm going to tell you about some really, really, really exciting stuff. So stay with us. And remember, this will be available in replay. So if you're like going, I couldn't write fast enough, lady, you will have a chance to do that. So Lindsay, take her away.
Thanks, Belinda. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually share my screen with you guys. Let me just pull it up. All right. Cool. So we can all see my slides now. I like to use slides because, believe me, I know that social media can be fairly tricky, and especially if you're not able to see what's actually going on. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ignore the chat just a little bit, okay? Not the whole time. So once I'm done, I will go back through it because I just want to make sure I have so much information, and I want to make sure we got through all of it today. So some of you saw me during the Facebook Lives that Belinda and I did in some of your teen groups, and I talked about some of the topics that we're going to be discussing on today. And just because somebody asked a minute ago, you guys will receive your free gifts and social media graphics tonight. So don't worry about it. You don't need it for my section of the presentation. The ebook is a training ebook, not a workbook. So you guys are all good there on that front. Before actually I go into all of this, because there were so many fours from you guys, meaning you haven't seen me or you don't know me, my name is Lindsay Tompkins, and I'm the social media trainer, obviously with Belinda Ellsworth and Step Into Success. Like Belinda mentioned, I started in social media and then was brought into direct sales. I have actually worked with Belinda now for the last almost 8 years, which is so crazy when I think about it because time flies so much, but it's just been such an amazing ride. I actually used to work corporately for a direct sales company